you doing today?
Doing okay today. How are you?
I'm doing good. You must be excited. How many more weeks until your surgery?
Oh gosh. 7?
7?
Yeah.
We're getting closer.
I know.
Look how
Yes.
far you've come. You're almost there. Tell me how that feels for you.
It feels great.
Yeah?
Becoming the person that I feel like I should have been born into.
Yeah.
I feel at home.
Good for you.
You know, I feel like this is me. This is the person I'm supposed to be. This is who I identify with, and it's gonna match the physicalness.
That's important. And your hormone treatments continue to go well. You're not having any problems.
No side effects. I was really
Awesome.
worried about that because I've had some friends that have taken it, and you know I think one had acne issues, and I was just like, oh gosh.
Well, acne tends to happen a lot more when transgender men because of the testosterone. But I'm glad to hear that the estrogen and stuff is sitting well for you. You look fantastic. You really do. I'm so proud of you for the way that I know. Look how glossy it is. Do they have you on prenatal vitamins? Because I know a lot of times they do that to give the skin and the hair the boost.
It helps.
Amazing.
As you can tell.
Amazing.
Thank you.
So catch me up. You were, last time we met, going to go out on a date with that guy. What was his name?
Michael.
Michael. Tell me how it went.
It went really, really good.
Did it really?
Yes. For the first time going on this date, there was like a local carnival.
Yeah.
And he's like, let's go do it. And I was like, sure. I mean, I kind of feel like I'm being a 13-year-old going to a carnival.
Well,
but at the same time,
in a way, you really are just experiencing it all for the first time, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you are.
It's amazing. And it's so nice to have him hold the door for me, or you go first, or even saying ladies first. And I was just like, what? Like, I'm getting chills just saying
I'm
this.
so happy
like,
for you.
Yes.
I'm so happy. The world is finally your oyster, my friend. You're finally being treated as the woman that you are. Good for you. Good for you for recognition. You've come such a long way, and you're almost there. These next 7 weeks are going to be important for you, though. So, you and I still have some work to do.
Yes,
Yeah.
we do. A lot of things have been coming up.
Yeah, we had talked, the past couple of sessions, and I've tried to kind of prepare you for this because, in the last few weeks, what they really want is a healthy mindset. They want you to move into surgery as confident, as settled, as grounded as possible.
Yep, no change in mind.
Nope. You've been amazing at your coping skills. You've been amazing at sort of exploring all the themes.
Thank you. And you've been helping me, so I appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome. This is what I do. This is who I am. So helping you become who you are helps me be who I am. Does that make sense to you?
It does. Yeah. Very well put. Yes.
Awesome. So we're at that point, and I know that you wanted to talk about your dad, and that this has always been sort of the one sticking issue for you.
It has.
Yeah.
Accepting me for who I want to be was always that was the biggest issue, and obviously there are other things, but he just couldn't grasp, like, you were supposed to be that man and growing up and having the children and the wife, but now you're going you want the husband, you want the children,
and you are the wife.
Yeah, that was hard for him to understand that him being at that generation too didn't help, and
well, I think you nailed it right on the head too. Generationally, a few years ago, or back maybe when your dad was a young man, this sort of thing was viewed differently.
Much differently, or not even talked about.
Yeah.
So,
how long's it been since his passing now?
It's been about a year.
A year.
Yeah.
All right.
So he's seen the transition of when I was on the hormone replacement 2 years ago, and that was tough for him. And
yeah, well, in the year let's try to pick that apart a little bit because I'm still I just kind of want to paint an accurate timeline. Yeah. So your dad's been gone a year.
Yes.
But you've been on hormones now 3 years, I think.
Yeah, about 3 years. Yeah.
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 So when's the last time your dad saw you then?
Probably a year and a half ago.
Okay, so that was post. Now at that point you were fully living as your authentic self.
Yeah.
And you were fully embracing your identity. I remember meeting you just about that time. Yeah, you didn't know how to get your ears pierced, and you weren't sure about your outfits. And I remember.
Like wearing the correct clothing,
I remember.
like size-wise.
Yeah, look how far you've come. I say.
Yes.
All right, so
go through my own womanhood, like with the teen years, and then but I had to like really speed up that process a little bit faster.
Well,
so that was quite a transition.
What a blessing to be, no pun intended. Right?
Yeah, right? Oh my gosh.
All right, so back to slightly more serious things though. So, Dad's been gone a year. Last time we saw you was a year and a half. You're mid-transition. You're really starting to, your transition's starting to pick up steam. Help me understand sort of the last interaction between the two of you. Sort of walk me through maybe where you were, what was happening, was it accidental? Help me understand.
So the last time I saw him, I went to the house, to his home, and my mom wanted to I forgot what was it, to I think organize something up in the attic, or it was some excuse probably really to have me over there, because I don't know, ever since I've been changing the hormone replacement therapies, she needs to find excuses for me to come over because I would never really visit. But when
mom's doing okay with this?
Not with it the death, but she's been very supportive.
I'm talking about you.
Yes,
Mom's been
thank
supportive.
you. Yes.
Okay. All right.
She's been very supportive on that, which is great. But Dad, no. When I saw him.
So there you are, at the homestead, right? Supposedly there to organize some stuff with Mom.
Yeah.
You're walking in the house, you see Dad, or help to pick it up from there.
So I walked in and I saw Dad, and he's flipping the channels, and he didn't make eye contact with me. He just said hi, that's it. And I literally had to walk in front of the TV to get his attention, like, hey, I'm here, I don't know if you noticed. And he's just like, oh yeah, I see that colorful outfit that you got on, and this beautiful hat, and your hair is down long, and commenting on my style, and I just...
But do you think it was complimenting you? Do you think he was reporting on you? How did that come across to you?
It came across like, this doesn't belong to you. Like, I don't even know who you are.
Yeah.
It's just a hi, like, yeah, whatever, but he did not want to deal with me because he didn't agree with it. He didn't understand, like, who is this person?
Can I ask you, did he refer to you by Holly, or did he call you by your dead name?
I didn't.
Still?
Yeah.
That's tough. I'm sorry.
I'm like, don't you see that I am a new person? Like, I've told you how many times to call me by this name. I mean, what am I supposed to call him? By his first name instead of Dad? Hi, Robert. Should I do that?
Well,
at that time, maybe.
So, there you are, in front of the TV. How you doing, Dad? And Robert's just kind of...
He's just like looking around my body to see the TV. And I'm just like, do you notice that I'm here? I mean, back in the past, he would always ignore me and pay more attention to my other brothers. Me, I was just like, wow, I'm back to being a kid again. Back to being a little boy.
So, what you said just now, it sounds to me like you're saying that this is just the same thing you've been telling me, that you kind of always felt this way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he still makes me feel that way. And I guess part of me thought that once I was proud of the woman I have become and where I am today, that I would be able to, prove to him, like, yeah, like, be proud of this person. Like, call me by my name. Don't make me feel small. I don't need that. And
so, prove. It's a very interesting word you chose there, prove. Like you had to prove yourself. Do you feel like you had something to prove, or that you know, help me understand why you chose that word?
I guess expressing my feelings. Well, when I finally did express my feelings, I wanted to change, and I didn't feel that I should be a man anymore and I should be a woman. I felt that I had to prove that I was serious about this, that I was willing to go the extreme to be who I wanted to be. And I figured with the, taking the hormones and growing my hair long and taking the prenatal and now having the surgery, that would prove right there that this is what I want, this is what I'm supposed to be, and I am living it well. Like I'm proud of it. Why can't you be proud of it? Does that make sense?
It absolutely does. You want your dad to be proud of you.
Yeah.
And you want your dad to be proud of you because every parent wants their child to do something they're good at and be who they are and excel, and this is who you are and this is how you're excelling and you're living your best life, and you just wanted what every kid wants. I want my dad to be proud of me.
Yeah, he was always proud of my other brothers. Like, hello, throw me a frisbee. Like, no.
So I asked you last session, as we talked about, beginning to talk about this. First of all, thank you for sharing all that stuff with me. I know that your relationship with your dad has been tough. I know that from what we've talked about, the dynamic wasn't there. You talked a lot about feeling sort of left aside, unnoticed. Again, you're using the word prove, like stand up and notice me, And how are you, Holly? How are you doing since he passed? Help me understand the Holly that doesn't have dad anymore.
Yeah. I guess part of me feels like I shouldn't care because it's not like he was really backing me and supporting me on my decision, But the other part of me is feeling sad and how we left things, I have no closure with him. Like, everyone else did, he said what he needed to everyone else, I heard. I'm like, well, what about me?
Yeah. So closure is important at the end of every relationship. When death comes, and when it's rather sudden, from what I understand, this was kind of sudden for your dad.
Yeah.
It just sort of ends. And the worst part about it isn't so much the loss of the person, while that's a terrible thing, it's the loss of the opportunity. And in troubled relationships like yours and your dad's, a lot of times there's this underlying hope, if you will, of, maybe tomorrow, or maybe next time, or one day somebody will cave.
That I had more time.
And it's that sudden realization that there is no more.
No more.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's weird.
I have an exercise for you that I would really like to try. I just am curious if you are, if you're up to it. It might be a little bit, we'll do some pre-work, we'll do some grounding skills, we'll do the exercise, we'll have a check-in, we'll sort of digress a little bit, we'll do some more grounding stuff, and we'll get you through it.
Yeah, that would be
good. You feeling strong, yeah?
Yeah.
All right. So,
I like feeling grounded when you do that.
You had some homework last time, and that homework was to bring in a picture.
Yes.
Can you show me the picture that you brought with you?
I can. I brought it.
Oh my.
Yes, I got the whole gang there.
You grew up in the 70s and 80s, huh?
I did, yeah. How can you tell?
Wow.
Was it the hairstyle or the clothing?
It was a little bit of both, I think.
Plus the picture, too, probably gives it away. Yeah.
So,
Pixels.
help me understand.
Okay, so who's who, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is me.
Oh my.
I know. Look, it's so adorable.
I don't mean to. I'm just sort of studying. I'm looking for the you that you are. You're in there somewhere.
Do you see me?
I do, in the way that you're standing, and in the way that your hands are folded. You're in there somewhere.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Tell me more.
Okay, so this is Mom.
Mm-hmm.
This is Dad, Robert.
Mm-hmm. And Mom, tell me Mom's name again.
Lorraine.
Lorraine, Robert and Lorraine, okay.
This is Chad.
Chad.
And this is Dominic.
Dominic. Okay, Chad and Dominic.
Yeah.
All right, so I see the picture.
Yeah.
And I'm sort of seeing some things, but I really, why don't you help me understand what's happening in this picture here?
I'm glad you brought that up because sometimes I look at this and I think, wow, you could really see how the dynamic was in my family.
Well, help me understand. So we've got, Robert and Lorraine, Chad, Dominic, and, well, we won't use the name. We won't use, we'll say Holly.
Okay, I like that.
Okay.
Thank you.
So we've got Chad, Dominic, and Holly. Yeah. Help me understand the picture. Tell me what's going on. Tell me the story of your family through this picture.
Well, do you want me to start before this was even taken?
Yeah, anywhere you want to start.
All right. So, Mom wanted to do a nice family photo. We were growing up, and she's like, school is starting soon. You guys are changing. I need a nice
If only she knew, huh?
Yeah, I know, right? Oh, my goodness. Boy, was she in for a surprise. Keep changing. I'm like, yes, I do. So I was fighting with my father because he wanted to go to a local baseball game, and I was just, I didn't really care to. I'm like, do I really have to go? Yeah, come with us, be one of the boys. And I was just like, yeah, not every kid likes this. I mean, is this supposed to be in my blood, in my DNA?
Not every kid, yeah.
No, so what? I'm a little bit different. But that to my father wasn't acceptable.
Okay.
Because Chad and Dominic were all about baseball.
Were they?
Mm-hmm. And so I was already pissed off at my dad. I didn't, I just wanted to ignore him. And obviously he was pissed off at me. You can tell even where we're put. And I was hoping, being, a family, and so was my mom. I guess I was more on my mom's side. I wanted to be over here. Have the three boys right there.
Sure.
But, no, Dad was like, no, I think you should be on this side, protecting Mom. And I was like,
now, were you protecting Mom, or was Mom protecting you, do you think?
Good question. I think Mom was protecting me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did Mom always protect you?
Yeah, she did.
Yeah. Mom stood up for you?
She still does. Yeah.
Well, today, Holly, I'm going to give you the opportunity to stand up for yourself.
Yeah.
I am. First of all, thank you. I did notice the separation. If I was going to look,
he's favoring Chad.
Yeah.
Right? I know he loves Dominic, but Dominic's a little bit older, as you can tell. Mm-hmm. And Chad and I are around the same age, but yeah, he was all about Chad. I'm like,
and
two hands.
Just for future reference, tell me, because we can talk about this later as you want. Where are you and Chad these days? Where's he standing with your transition, with you becoming Holly?
He's staying neutral.
Yeah. Because
he doesn't want to get in between us, because between my dad and I, we do bicker a lot. Probably out of the whole family, that's really the biggest issue.
Yeah.
I hate to say it. I hate to be the cause of it, but...
You're not the cause of anything. You're simply being yourself. This isn't your fault. This
feels
isn't...
like it is.
Well, it's not your fault for wanting to be who you are, for needing to be who you are, for being who you are, not even wanting, needing, for you being who you are. That's not your fault.
Thank you for saying that, because I've always felt that way.
It's the truth. It's not your fault. All right. This exercise, I think, is going to do us really well. Are you ready?
I am.
Okay, so can I hold the picture?
Yes.
Okay. It's important.
Okay.
We're going to do something that I like to call, or that is called, empty chair. Have you ever heard about that?
No.
So
how does that work?
There's a technique out there, and the idea behind this empty chair is that it gives a person the opportunity to do and say things, maybe talk to, interact with people that aren't in their lives anymore. And it's really great for people like you who might need to express something. And in your case, you've said you're looking for a little closure. You've got this pent up stuff inside of you. You didn't have the chance. Today's your chance. So here's how this is going to work. I'm going to put this picture right here.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
And this picture is going to be, we're gonna do a little pre-work here, because I'm going to reach right into this picture and I'm going to sort of remove Mom from the picture, and I'm going to remove Chad and Dominic from the picture, right?
Yep.
And it's just going to be Holly and Dad. Okay?
Yeah.
So I want you to imagine you're going to focus on just Holly and you're going to focus on just Dad. Okay?
Yeah.
The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to reach right into this picture and I'm going to mute Dad for you, because Dad always had a lot to say, you told me.
Always did. Yep.
Dad never really listened, did he? No. So today, Dad's going to listen. Dad has no power to speak.
No choice,
So no choice, no power. Robert's just going to listen.
Finally. Wow.
So you and I are going to take a couple of preparatory deep breaths. And then I'm going to turn the floor over to you. And what I want you to do is simply talk. Talk to Robert. Talk to your father. And tell him all the things that you need to say, because when we move into this exercise, he'll be sitting right there. Okay? A couple of important things before we do, because in these cases it's kind of easy to get lost. Okay? Let's do a couple of grounding exercises, okay?
Okay.
So the very first thing, like we've done before, we're going to do the sensory one, okay? So I want you to close your eyes for me, and I want you to sort of go into your body, and I want you to tell me 3 things that you can feel with your body. 3 things you notice.
The floor.
You notice the floor?
Yeah.
Okay.
The couch.
Mm-hmm.
And the clothing of my awesome shirt right
And
here.
your awesome shirt, Connect Without Limits. That's what we're trying to do today.
Absolutely. That's our word today. I wanted you to see it.
Yay.
Yeah.
All right, so you're feeling that floor, and you're feeling that couch, and you're feeling those clothes. I want you to really respect those feelings. I want you to really, really feel them, because that's what's going to keep you here. Okay?
In your office.
Yeah. You're not going to be back in this picture. You're not going to be 6, 7, 8 years old. You're going to be here today, the woman that you are. Okay? Open your eyes for me. Tell me 3 things you can see.
I see the picture.
Mm-hmm.
I see you.
Mm-hmm.
And I see the table.
And those 3 things should tell you what?
That I'm here.
That you're here.
In your office.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not back there.
No.
I'm not anywhere else.
Okay.
I'm here.
So if necessary, I'm going to call those things out to you. If I see you getting a little lost, we'll work on bringing those things. I can tell it's already weighing on you a little bit, okay?
I was like, whoa.
Let's do a couple of deep breaths, okay?
Yeah.
So where you're going to put one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly, okay? You're going to breathe in through the nose, and you're really going to pull all that air into your belly as much as possible. Not the chest, all the way down deep into where you want to pull those feelings from, okay?
So I want this to go out in my belly?
That's right, like a balloon. And then blowing out through the mouth nice and slow, like you're trying to get rid of 75 candles off a cake. Are you ready?
Sounds
in through
good.
the nose and out through the mouth. A little bit bigger, in. Blow a little harder for me. Good job. One more in. Those are trick candles. You need to blow hard. There we go. Nice job, Holly.
Ooh, yeah.
How you feeling?
Much better.
All
I
right.
needed those deep, deep, deep ones.
All
Yes. Thank you.
So Holly, I'm going to call your attention back to this picture. Remember, it's just a picture of you, and it's just a picture of Robert. Okay? And whenever you're ready, I'm turning the floor over to you. I'm just going to sit here patiently. You're here. You're safe. I'm just going to take a few notes. Okay? And you take as long as you need. Whenever you're ready.
Should I call him Dad?
Whatever you want. This is up to you. He's sitting right there. Why don't you talk to him?
Hey, Dad. I miss you. It's weird going to your house and there's only Mom and you're not there. I love you, but I things I need to talk to you about. Things you need to understand things. I feel like you don't understand. I feel like you've never listened, and now you're gonna listen. I've always felt like I've had to prove to you that the woman that I want to be, you know, I am being the woman that I want to be, and I can't be the man that you wanted me to be. I can't. I don't see myself that way. I see myself now. You're looking at me now. I am the woman that I've always wanted to be. I've always wanted this. Even then, at that age, I always wanted to be a woman. And I've always wanted you to accept it. You've never accepted it, and you never tried understanding why I needed to change. I never felt the body that I was in was really me. I couldn't relate to that. And you have forced me into it, pushing on all the quote-unquote boy things that you thought would change or keep me the way I was at that time. But I couldn't keep going on with it. When I became an adult, that's when really everything started pouring in, and I know I needed to change. I spent years thinking, is this the right decision for me? And I came to a conclusion that, yep, that's what I wanted. That's what I've always wanted. Even at this little boy that right in this picture. And all I wanted was for you to accept it. And I felt like I had to prove it to you by taking the hormone replacements, by taking the prenatals, by growing out my hair and getting the surgery, which I'm getting done in 7 weeks. And if you were still alive today and I was getting this surgery, I would hope that at that point that you would try to listen and understand me more, and understand that it's on, that this is me. You either accept it or you don't. And I really wish that you would. And we could have that relationship that I've always wanted. I wanted to have that relationship with you. You know, I really wanted you to get to know the new guy I'm seeing, and, you know, what if we were to get married? That father-daughter dance. And I know you didn't see that for me. I know you didn't.
Tell them what you want.
I want you to look at me and tell me I'm beautiful, and tell me that you're proud of me. And tell me, you know, come on over, you know, more, and I'll cook him up some gnocchis, and we'll have a good old time, grab a beer, you know, and that would have been great. That's what we all would have wanted in the family. All of us to get along and have peace, make Mom happy. I know this would make Mom happy. She'd be thrilled. And so would Chad and Dominic. You know, I know I'm not supposed to mention their names, but I'm sorry that you suffered, and we didn't see this coming, really. You're getting sick and passing away, you know. I mean, we kind of had a warning, and I probably should have stopped letting so much time pass and not really talk to you and really make you understand and really make you listen. I'm doing it now. And I hope you are listening in spirit. I really do hope you are. Because you've always just avoided it. Because the last time I did see you, you just were all about the TV and didn't even care that I existed. I would really love for you to notice me and notice that I exist. That you have 2 boys and a girl. And I now that I'm talking about it, I can't imagine what was going on in your mind. You know, Mom said that it was tricky for her to get used to saying my daughter, her, you know, that everything had to change for her, and you weren't willing to try. You didn't try towards the end, and I understand that would have been difficult, but it would have been great if you tried. Just try. Sorry if I'm rambling on.
No. You said a lot of important things. Where are you right now? Let's do a couple of quick grounding. Remember where you are. Tell me where you are.
Oh wow, I was just man, I was just thinking of, oh my gosh, when I would come to family events. The first family event when everyone in the family, like our extended family, started seeing me, like who I wanted them to see, and I wore a dress. I was changing, and the way he treated me, and everyone else was okay, but they had that awkward, like, oh, okay, that's awesome, Robert, why are you talking to her that way? Or, everyone else just seemed to go with it, but he was kind of a dick. He just did not, he was just like, who's this person that's here? I'm just like, wow, really? Like, you're probably better off not saying anything at all, because we're at a family event. You're embarrassing me. I was so embarrassed. So, yeah, okay. No, I'm supposed to get grounded, and I am back there.
I can tell that you've got a lot coming up.
Yeah.
I don't want to shut you down, but I do
Yeah.
want to keep you focused. We'll have plenty of time to talk about this as much as you want. As a matter of fact, I'd like your permission to make a copy of this picture, because this way we can sort of explore it a little bit more. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, that would be good. I didn't realize like all this stuff would come pouring out, but
you've got so much to say. You've spent so many years feeling unheard.
Yeah, keeping it underneath and trapped, and now I'm finally letting it out, and he's actually listening because he's got no freaking choice.
That's right. So first, let's do some grounding.
Okay.
Then we're going to move on to the second part of the activity, and in between I have something for you, okay?
Okay.
All right. So, nice and comfy again. Close your eyes. You're going to go back into your body. And you're going to feel those feet on the floor of the carpet again. And you're going to feel the sofa underneath your legs and underneath your bum. You're going to feel your t-shirt that you wore just for this session today, Connect Without Limits. Tell me 3 things you can smell in the here and now.
I burped a little, so I smell my dinner. Sorry. I do smell that nice lavender that you have in your office. I noticed that.
Yeah. There you go. Breathe nice and deep.
Sage?
There you go. Have a little bit in that dish over there on the cabinet. So good for you. You've got a good nose.
Thank you.
And all those things tell you what, Holly?
I'm here.
That you're here.
Yeah.
Yeah. The woman that you are 7 weeks out from gender confirmation surgery. Tell me something. How did that exercise make you feel?
A lot. I feel freer. I feel lighter even.
Yeah.
Just letting that all out because he's finally listening.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? It's important that you continue to let it out. And there's a couple of ways I'd like to do that, okay? So the first obviously is in session here with me. I feel like it's important that we approach this a few different ways. I'd like over the course of the next few weeks leading up to your surgery to try a couple of different exercises. Maybe we'll try this again. I'd love to try some expressive art therapy with you surrounding this. Maybe we can do some work around rearranging the family in a way that you see. Maybe helping you get little Holly closer in where she needs to be. Okay? So we'll do some work around that. And the second thing that I have for you is this. It's a journal.
I believe in me.
I believe in me.
Oh, that's so cute. It's
Yeah.
got stars.
And so it's important for you to believe in yourself and to move forward towards this surgery with no hesitation and with no reservations. You're going to do amazing things. You're going to be wonderful.
Oh.
We just need to help you work through this little bit of what you have left so that you can go clear-headed and clear-souled. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So on the in-between, when you're not seeing me, a lot of times when we start activities like this, there could be some, we'll call them aftershocks.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you might feel a little bit dysregulated. You might get upset, you might get angry, you might get mad, you might get depressed. And with all of what's going on, it's important for us to be able to track that. So on the in-between, you're going to track those. Okay.
Journal it in?
Yeah, you're going to
Okay.
journal it.
Yeah.
You can tell me about maybe where you were, what you were doing, but really listen to yourself in those moments, because you'd be surprised at what you hear when you feel those feelings. Instead of running from them, right? Let them out, explore them,
Okay.
right? Relax into them, because really they're just aftershocks. They're not about the here and now. They're about something that's happened in the past. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I usually just suppress it.
Yeah, you're feeling things and processing things that you should have felt and processed a long time ago. So when those things come up, it's important for you to understand that they can't hurt you, and that you're still safe, and that I believe in me, right?
Yeah.
And then if you can just sort of write down for me
Okay.
the circumstances you got angry because of, and as you thought about it, you realized you were pissed off because you felt embarrassed at that family reunion.
Okay, I'll
Do
talk
you
about
know what
the,
I mean?
Yep.
Or so
Yes.
the ones that you were talking about, whatever that looks like for you.
Okay.
And this is going to help us sort of look for some themes. And you'd be surprised too, because once you acknowledge them, you disempower them. So once you own that feeling and say,
Yeah.
I was embarrassed, but I'm not now, look at me now, you'd be surprised at how much less powerful
So
it
I would
feels in
be
your head.
owning that feeling, and then
We'll
Done.
work through whatever's left, and it should just, we want to send it on its merry way.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? We want to get that runway good and clear. So far, so good?
Yeah, very good.
All right,
Like
let's
that.
do a quick anxiety check, okay? Because I know
Okay.
that a lot of the stuff, I saw your body language go through quite a bit. Okay, you went
Yes.
from all the way up here to all the way down
And,
here,
well,
with shoulders
tight.
up, and I
Yeah.
watched you, as you were talking. So tell me, on a scale 1 to 10, we'll do a simple 1 to 10, 1 being nothing can hurt me, nothing can bother me, 10 to I'm so dysregulated, I don't know what to do with myself. Tell me where you are.
Right now,
Yeah.
I'm at a 4.
You're 4?
Yeah, I felt like as I was doing this, but then it got better. I was at like a 7. Now I feel like it dropped a little bit.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And why do you think it dropped? Well, smile, so it must be something good. Tell me.
Well, it's something that you just said.
What?
Like,
Tell me.
I acknowledge those thoughts, and I said it, and it's out there, and it's gone.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's out there. You
Yeah.
sent that away. So we only have a few minutes left, but I want to call your attention back to this picture. Do you remember back at the beginning, we removed Mom, and we removed Chad, and we removed Dominic, and we muted Dad. Who's left?
Me.
You. And in that picture is a very different version of yourself. Much different from the woman that you are today and the woman that you're becoming.
Yes.
This little one, this precious, sweet little one,
Boy,
has a
don't you know.
long road ahead of them, don't they?
Absolutely.
A long road that's going to cause them a lot of pain and a lot of anger and a lot of shame and a lot of sadness and a lot of things that sweet, innocent little child shouldn't have to feel on the account of the family they grew up in or on the account of life circumstance. Do you know?
Yeah.
So for the last few minutes, Holly, what I'd love for you to do is take a look at this picture again. And I want you to reconnect with this little one right here.
Hey, you.
And I want you to, I want you to imagine that that little one needs to hear some supportive advice from somebody, and that somebody should be you. What would you say? What pieces of advice could you give to this little one right here that perhaps you wish somebody had given to you?
Don't give up. It may seem like that's the best way to do and follow everyone else. That might seem like the thing to do, but don't. Be a leader. Be your own leader and follow your heart. Don't give up. And though it may seem that you're in the wrong, that you shouldn't be doing what you're doing, and it's not accepted, it will be accepted, and it is in the future, and you have nothing to worry about.
You have nothing to be ashamed of.
Nothing to be ashamed of.
Nothing. All right, well, listen, we're just about out of time. We only have a couple of minutes. So I just kind of want some feedback on how that session went today. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling really good. I wish I had someone like that, when I was at that age, to have advice, to know that it will be okay, and if I have any questions, or just having that support, even feeling accepted. I just...
You do. You do. The power lies in you now. You did amazing work today, and you're gonna knock this out of the park, just like you've done everything else, taking it head on, tackling it head on, and by the time we get you to gender confirmation surgery, because now it's 6 weeks and 6 days. High five on that one.
Yes.
All right.
And it will happen.
It will.
Just wait.
So in 4 weeks, my final report is due.
Okay.
To the psychiatrist and to the team about everything.
And
we'll go over. What do you think I'm gonna put? We'll go over it
Hell
together.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go over it together, and we'll
Okay.
talk about it. I think it's important that we stay on track. I'm gonna remind you again about the work that I'm gonna ask you to do outside of that.
Yes.
Right. And if there's other things you're finding that you're struggling with, you can call me at any time, right?
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
Holly,
I
you're
appreciate
amazing.
it. Lord,
All
too.
right. We'll see you next week.
Okay.
Awesome.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah.